Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to the last session. Today is August 14, 2020. TGI Fridays. Hope you guys had a good week. One second, I keep dropping stuff. Alright, we're good. Alright, so welcome to the last session. Today we're going to be going over the trades we took this week, along with the more important aspect of finding trades for next week. And during this, this segment of the session, just send in your questions and I'll get to them towards the end. But I'll try my best to get to every single one. Today we don't have a can. We have a. Let me see if I can get it on the mic. Hope you heard that. Do we have a bottle? Usually I have the can, but I guess we're going with the bottle today. That first sip of Coke. Man, on a summer day like this where it's hot and humid, cold Coke, better than coffee in my opinion. Anyways, so this week was a bit more eventful. Actually, this morning was supposed to be eventful, but not really. So I guess we'll start off with that. USD core retail sales. You can see mixed data, right? One was green, one was red, which tells you that one was good, one was bad. Obviously, the forecasts were pretty low, right? You can see 1.3, 2.0 compared to the last few months, we're above 8. So regardless of the fact whether this is green, it's still a pretty bearish result for the dollar. So euro, let's just actually just go over the trades. I'm gonna go over the signals that we've called, and that way we can kind of see what we did while we took the trade. You can start to kind of identify our strategy, and then we can move on. So this is our Discord, our community Discord. Please, if you haven't joined, feel free to join. It's free to join. The link to sign up is in the description of the video. So just click and sign up. It takes 2 seconds. This is where a lot of the magic happens. We have this community discussion, so we can share trade ideas. So, for example, Marco, one of our veteran traders, is in deep profit for CAD CHF. That is good work. Happy Friday to you too. And so I'm going to go over, here we have all the signal channels. I am under the price action king, so I'll go over that, and then we'll see just how this week went. So we started off the week with a short for Euro CAD. So let's head over to Euro CAD before we talk about Euro dollar. So Euro CAD. Now we entered. We got around to TP1. We hit TP1 officially. You can see price went all the way down here after some consolidation. We went to TP1 and then some, but officially we just hit TP1, and that was a nice clean move down. And we spent a lot of this week consolidating after we went to this low. Price pulled back, consolidated, and now it's rallying. The reason why it's rallying again is because euro dollar is expected to extend higher, and so during the beginning of the week we were looking to go short, and we did get a pretty decent move. I mean, this is depending on what kind of trader you are, right? For example, a move like this, which is similar to what we got, around 50-ish pips, right? Our first TP was 25, but after TP1, I give traders the full luxury to take profit wherever they want. But at max, you would have got 50 pips. Now, that is pretty decent. I always say if you can get 25 pips a day, that's 125 pips for the week. That is a lot of money, right? That's more money than 95% of traders make. Even if you are at net zero for the week, you've made more money than most traders because most traders don't make money, right? So this was that first trade. It was just a nice quick 25 pips before Wednesday's CPI data, right? And we know the CPI data is a big predictor of inflation. And it's a big market mover, right? So that was what the first trade. Then during the midweek, things kind of slowed down the markets. I was waiting for EU and GU, and so I rarely do this. I think maybe in the odd moon, I do a sell stop. I like to watch price action, but it was getting late, and we only had one trade entered at the time. So I'm like, what? The stop loss is 25, 26 pips, whatever. We can go with it. So I called this sell stop for Aussie yen. So we'll quickly go over that. So this was the only loss for the week. Nonetheless, we try to keep our losses small, and it actually ended up playing out, but it's okay. So I called it short from here. The reason why is because on the 4-hour time frame, we kind of created this triple top at this level here, right? And I had a pretty, again, a 26 pip stop loss is pretty tight. So I called it short here, and it looked good. It looked good, and then price pulled back, stopped us out, and then since then it has shorted. So maybe if our stop loss wasn't so cute, we probably would have not lost the trade and made money, but it's fine because we had a pretty good later half of the week. I do see this going lower again. This is a simple triple top, right? It's all we trading. Here it is. Boom, boom, boom. There's a long-term trend line that we're kind of coming up to, but we still have a few ways to go. But that was the only loss of the week, and then we get into yesterday, which was a mammoth day. So euro dollar, and the euro dollar, we actually went long once from here, right? So we got roughly, depending on where you got entry, at the bare minimum you got 25 pips. But price went around 49, 48 pips to the upside, right? So this was during London session, so I got my 25 pips, and I was content with that. Yesterday I was looking to get us long in again because price pulled back in this area, and I was looking to buy again because this is clear momentum shift, and obviously the buy is the most likely scenario. And at 5 a.m., if you're awake at 5 a.m. Eastern, we have this nice bullish hammer. Let me try to move my mouse, but you can see the second 4-hour candle, not the current one, but the second one before this, is a nice bullish hammer, which would be a candle we were looking to enter long on, and this is perfect. So I do think this will continue going to the upside. I don't really enter trades Friday, especially this late, close to noon. If I do enter, it's earlier during the day, but we can wait on Monday to kind of get entry. Maybe. I don't like to really trade on Sunday and even Monday for that fact, but if things look good on Monday, we can, because we were originally waiting for this to get a re-entry. Again, you can see price didn't want to go short, right? You can see, sellers push down, but buyers push back up. Euro does not want to go lower, right? But we'll see how things look on Monday. Let the markets kind of digest the core retail sales, but I think more likely than not, we should get upside movement. In conjunction with the euro dollar long, we took a GU long, right? Here's its two signals for those trades. For those that are wondering, here it is, here it is. So GU was pretty nice as well. We got a nice initial push, and again, depending on entry, at the very minimum, you got 25 pips, but price did surge up to 68 pips, right? And that's all fine and dandy. So again, similar to EU, I was looking for price to come back to this arrow, as you can see right here, and this was our new buy area, and price at 1 a.m. yesterday gave us another 4-hour bearish hammer, which is the candle we enter long on, and then price excelled to the upside to the significant high. So just like we drew it up, for the members that did get on this, fantastic. Again, I'm usually asleep during this time, but very simple, right? Price, this is where we entered, price pushed up, we secured profit here, got some profit, and then I said, you know what, it's going to retrace back to our entry, look for signs of bulls. In this area, you have a nice 4-hour bullish hammer, which is the second most bullish candle you can have, and price extended. Just simple way of trading, right? You don't even need any of these other levels here to kind of dictate what price will do. This is simple enough, right? This is just simple enough. Just pull back and then launch up. And again, there is resistances, and there's also significant highs and lows, and price can use significant highs as resistance. For example, this was the last significant high in this kind of downtrend we've started. And you can see, we used it as resistance almost here, but we definitely used it here. So this is why this was a kind of point in price where we were looking for price action, and to determine if we close positions or if we add another one. But obviously, this sharp pullback tells you that this was used as resistance, and we may see a pullback again, maybe a small one, but I do think momentum should carry forward. So we might pull back to here. I think this might be roughly around the 50 fib. And then price continues up, right? Again, if you look on the 4-hour, we have an obligation to fill up this range from up here to down here, and we have finished the down portion, and it's now time to finish the up portion, right? We thought that would happen yesterday, but price came, into this kind of high area and reversed. It may happen on Monday, and then what we can do after is, if the momentum carries forward, we'll look at our original target for our GU longs, which is 1.33500. So it's another great trade that we entered. And then we had two more blockbuster trades. One was for gold, right? And this is a very, this is quick 110 pips, like almost immediately. We got a really good entry on this trade, and that tends to happen because gold is a momentum player. Can't type. Other than that, I'm getting a stroke. Yeah, gold is all about momentum, right? So we got a pretty solid entry, 1954, and you can see where price went yesterday. A nice 10-ish pips, right? 110, 130, depending on entry, right? Because it was a pretty quick movement. But this is why I always kind of tell traders that once you get to 25 pips, 30, 40, 50 pips, secure something. You don't have to secure all the profit, but secure something and move stops to entry, because you could have been up, 130 pips, but if you didn't secure anything because of greed, you would have lost all that immediately, right? Because price pulled back. I'm still bullish on gold. We might have a deep retrace maybe next week, to come somewhere in this area, but I do think price wants to go higher. But this was a nice clean trade, right? It was a very simple move, and it was just based off this 4-hour high getting cleared, right? We had this 4-hour high getting cleared. Again, this was the 4-hour bullish hammer, right? Whenever we have a high, we usually look at the 4-hour candle, and it's a bullish hammer. We tend to ride the momentum. At the bare minimum, you usually get 25 pips guaranteed. Anything more is a bonus. These days, because of the choppiness of the markets, we've kind of been, getting 25 to 70 pips for these type of setups. But before COVID and all this mess, we were getting nice, solid swing trades for 14 months continuous. So that's it's out of our control, but we're making it work nonetheless. You can see the pullback isn't even too sharp. It's not like one of these pullbacks with huge candles. You have a lot of wicks, and so prices are looking to go lower. If on Monday we're back above, maybe 1960, we can start taking a look at longs again. So that was gold, and the other one was silver, which is an elective trade, but nonetheless it was given. And silver is very, very, very basic to trade as well. So here's the chart work for silver. Right, so silver entry around 27 flat, right, $27. Here's the idea. We're just waiting for this. Whoops, not this bear, not that. We're just waiting for the 4-hour candle, right, to clear above this high to go up, right? And you can see where price went. So here's a rough entry, right? $27 is right here. Right, so here's $27. Price extended, quite a bit, around 50 pips above that to, I think, around 75 pips actually, but my 20% position got out at 50 pips, but a nice clean move, right? I went smaller on this trade, like a lot smaller. I went 20% in a 20% position because we were already in gold. We were already looking to enter GU, EU again. You don't want to over risk, but we got that clean, sharp move. Price pulled back, but again, similar to gold, I think silver wants to continue higher, but because of the choppiness in the markets, and also today was a fundamental event, it's going to have these deep retraces. So important to secure, this 75 pip move. It's important to secure 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 pips, somewhere in that range, and make your stops to break even, because price is very choppy these days, and you want to secure something, right? So again, 25 pips a day, that's all you need, right? Scalpers go for 8 pips a day, and they're good. I know one scalper that goes for 8 pips during New York, 8 pips during Japan, and he's done for the day. So, for us, 25 pips is the bare minimum. Sometimes price gives us 30, 40, 50, and then but moving that stop to break even is very important, especially if you have news the next day like we did today. So that was the week. We had a lot of setups pending. We did a lot of analysis. You can see the pending setups here. A few alerts that are still waiting to go. For example, UJ. We were looking to go super long on this, a nice swing trade, but our swing, our entry criteria was not active. You can see our alert here. So next week we may have a short. This looks like a really, really good short. Gosh, I wish I was up at 5 a.m. because if I saw this at 5 a.m. I would have called this short. Here we have a nice inverted hammer, which is a candle we use to go short. And this current candle is an inverted hammer. I wouldn't be surprised if UJ drops to 106, 100 next week. And then GJ, we also had a mega swing long trade as well, and our alert is still there and active. We're still waiting for the entry criteria. So there are a few setups that we're still waiting for. Aussie yen is another example to go long right up here. So we were just patient and just took what the markets gave us, because we like to trade with the trend, and there's a lot of reversals this week, and so for us it was mainly about trading with the momentum. So we'll see next week if those following setups can become active. And now the important part of the session is preparing for next week. So for people on YouTube and Discord, send in your pair recommendations, whatever trades you want me to look at, pairs, and any trading related questions. I'm happy to help. Should I do YouTube or Discord first? Okay, I might do Discord first because then people might find incentive to join. So let's do that, and then I'll look at YouTube. So people on YouTube, send in your pairs now. People on Discord, if there is any, let me know. I'll get to we kind of alter the stream settings, so there's kind of a delay of 10 seconds before I say something, and then it comes through. I'll kind of just wait just a tad bit. I'll do EURUSD because Michael asked yesterday, and I just want to give him. I mean, this is a pair we will trade next week, so why not? Let's just letting that delay pass through, and then I'll go through reference pair conditions. But yeah, we'll take a look at the dollar index. I think that's a good start. Get a good idea. I think that's kind of helped us deal with the choppiness, is to know where the dollar index is going, and then we can kind of figure it out, right? So okay, there's some pairs. So NZD yen. I got you. All right, so let's look at the dollar index, and then we will kind of cover that delay a bit. Dollar index. So the dollar index, pretty interesting. So we started the week with a sharp pullback, right, to this 93.30 support. We stood by it for a bit, then price gapped down, and then went to 93 flat. Now at this point, I was thinking, okay, you know what, price is obligated to go here if it does break and close on the 4-hour time frame, which it did not, right? We really rely on the 4-hour time frame because I think it kind of filters out the noise without waiting the entire day. And you can even see, like, let me just try to visually show you guys, like, this pullback. So look at this high, look at this low, and then try to guess where this pullback is. It's a common fib level. It's a common place where people try to get entries. Let me know where you think that level is. It's probably gonna be. I might not even know. I think it's okay. I got it. So we'll drop the fibs and figure it out. So let's go. So before we do that, actually, if you look to the left, this is the range we have from here to here, right? We have 1, 2, 3 touches up here. We have 1, 2 touches up here. So it's common, theory and kind of speculation that after this third touch, price will be kind of obligated to come down and do that third touch here, right? It's all about momentum, really. So sometimes you may have a swift move down, a choppy move up. Other times you may have a clean move up. Here's a choppy move down. It looks like this week we're gonna have a choppy move down. So it is what it is, but nonetheless, these indices, they move independent of the majors sometimes. I know this kind of accumulates what happens in the majors, but sometimes this is a leading indicator. Other times I found it to be a lagging indicator, but it's definitely something that can help your accuracy when kind of predicting out the minors, right? I mean the majors. So let's get to the kind of specifics of the dollar index. But I think this is a good pullback. If you get the fibs, you will see what pullback we did. Right, so from high to low. And you can see we pulled up really nicely right before the 27.2. I was expecting price to actually do a deeper retrace and maybe even fulfill back up to the 50 fib, but price didn't want to do that, right? The 50 fib is right near the top of this mini 4-hour range. Because we did it, I do think the sellers are still very present for the dollar index. So next week I'm going to be looking for something like this, where price clears 93, and then we have this obligated move down to 89. And if we do, believe me, gold will continue rocketing, euro will continue rocketing, GU, even NZD, which has been struggling. I think those pairs will really take off, and then we can start to look at some really long-term trades like that swing trade we have for GU, right? So that's what I look for next week. We're still in a downtrend, so I'm going to be focusing on that downtrend. Let me take a drink real quick. And 89, so 93 is the level here, 89 is the level here, and the 4-hour time frame I think will be good enough that we can confirm we're going lower. Now, dollar index, it's been how many months? It has been about 2 months that we've been stuck in this range, so I do think it's short enough that price will make its way, because sometimes when you're in a range for too long, you're due for a breakout, but I think right now it's only been a few months, right? 2 months max. So I think it's okay. But sooner rather than later, we will have the dollar index either break out to the top side or the downside. I'm predicting to the downside, but we shall see. The election's coming up. A lot of things can kind of inflict it. So back to the euro, I just want to show you, actually GU, I want to show you the swing long target we have up here, 1.33500. And talking about obligations, look at the weekly time frame. Right, when price comes above this white line, just look to the left. When price comes above this white line at 1.30, where does price tend to go? It goes higher, right? So sometimes it goes here, then pulls back, but most of the time it does rocket to this 133,500 level, right? Here, for example, here it made a really honest attempt another time here, so that is why we're choosing that level. The current, let's see the current weekly candle. Let's move this. The current weekly candle, let's take a look. Too many arrows. Is, I believe it's indecision. Yeah, it's indecision candle. So this is a candle where the wick to the top and bottom are equal in length, or relatively equal. And this could be good or bad. This just means that this week GU didn't really go up much, didn't really go down too much. It basically canceled each other out, right? The move canceled each other out. So next week we hopefully look forward to a bullish candle to kind of cancel this indecision that, hey, you know what, this was just a brief period of just maybe collecting contracts before price shoots up again. And we have a very nice kind of entry criteria. We're using the highs from the past 2 weeks to make sure we don't get faked out. So we're waiting for maybe a daily closure above 1.31800 to take price higher. So we're going to be obviously smart, and this will make sure we don't get faked out at all in this kind of situation. So I am still bullish. You can see why. Obviously the trend is greatly intact, right? Continue to make higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and all seems well. So the dollar will continue to depreciate in my opinion, and things like BTC, silver, gold, oil should start to move up higher. Alright, so okay, let's go back to Discord. Any pair recommendations? Let me ask. Pair requests. And also the public channel discussions. PZ late, NZD CAD, CAD yen, USD CHF, USD CAD. Okay, those are really nice pairs. A lot of CADs. Let's see. Okay, NZD CAD. Let's talk about this pair. Remember last time we took a look at it, wasn't too much happening. Oh, but now you can see it. A lot is happening. That's good. So maybe we did have a short for this, maybe not. I think maybe this was probably old and I moved it here. My fault. But it does look good for shorts. I think Aussie CAD was a great short this week, and a few members caught that. Looking at the weekly, because I think obviously the weekly is done, so we get more insight. It's a bearish hammer, right? So we have a huge candle, but you can see the wick to the bottom is very long, and I don't usually like that when I enter short. When this happens, I actually want price to clear this low on the smaller time frame. So we're on the weekly time frame, but if you go on the daily, you'll see a low here, and I would want maybe on the 4-hour for price to clear that low for us to take that next leg down to this level right here. Alright, so if I just pull back and you see, let me just clear some of these recent levels. So here's what we have, right? We have this kind of resistance area here, right? We use the resistance. And then we kind of have this, wick area. We have a lot of these wicks up and around this area. So that'd be a nice TP, but I would wait for 0.6324 to get broken on the 4-hour time frame. So if you're on the 4-hour time frame, you'll see exactly why. On the 4-hour time frame, we're using it as a support, and price is pushing back up. So it is a downtrend on a smaller time frame, but for me, I'd wait for price to make its way back down and then go low. Right, this will confirm that we're headed lower, and then my stop loss would be in between this high and this kind of support, and here would be the trade setup. Very simple. It'd be halfway in between, so this is halfway. Here's the TP, and then there you have a 3.0 R2R. So this is what I see for NZD CAD. It looks probable. Looks actually pretty good. I think this might be the quickest analysis you'll ever see in your life. But just going for, once you have the daily and weekly, the monthly, weekly, daily levels down, you just need to follow price action, candlesticks, fundamentals, and just momentum. Right? You get kind of a sixth sense when you kind of add all those things together. So NZD CAD, I think this is what we're gonna do, and I will put an alert, but I won't send it a chart because members think because I send a chart on a Friday, you can enter, or on a Sunday, and I don't want to build those bad habits. But my alert will be 0.86300, okay, and crossing down. So we'll see on Monday what happens with this setup, but it looks really good for the shorts. As long as we don't clear this previous high, shorts are still a go. But even if we do, it's still a possibility because price sometimes likes to run previous highs, fake people out, and then drop. So we'll see what happens. Maybe Monday, maybe even Tuesday, because sometimes the miners don't get moving until the midweek. CAD yen looks like a good short as well, very similar to a euro yen. And oh, look, what do you know it? We finally broke out this consolidation box. So I wasn't trolling, but I was really getting aggravated with CAD yen because it spent so much time in this range, like a lot of time, right? At a fake out to the top side, a fake out to the bottom, but it spent maybe 80%, 85% of its price action in this box. Last week, going into this week, I told you last week we had great unemployment data for the Canadian loonie, right? And this is good for the CAD, so obviously, this swung up, right? And that's where the idea of adding fundamentals and technicals comes into play, because this whole week we were trying to be bullish on the loonie, try to find setups to get. And that's why we took EuroCAD short. But anyways, you can see price pulled up this blue line. Let's see where this blue line connects to. I'm sure it has some significance. So I'll have to pull up maybe to the monthly. Okay, so this looks like a mess just because we're condensing everything about the monthly. Now I know why we draw this blue line. As you can see, in the past, it has been a very nice support, right? So here we have price, rally, price, rally, price, rally, rally, rally. Still a lot of rallies / price action and wicks in this blue line. And so what happened this week is price has come off that blue line, and now we have a huge long-term range. So this is the range which I was talking about, but now we have this kind of range, right? Where whenever price comes from above and goes below this blue line, it does come down to this area down here. And so you can see the move has already happened quite aggressively this week. And what I'd wait for is, it's actually perfect, really good setup. What I'd wait for is, let me move the box now. You see this last significant high we made? Here's a significant high we made, and I told you that significant highs can be used as resistance, and that's why I like to wait for significant highs to get cleared. So look what happens. Price went up, created a significant high, went down, okay, and then price started this uptrend. Watch what happens when it comes to significant high. It pushes up, and this is a nice candle. This is the candle we like to trade. This 4-hour bullish hammer, right? Huge candle, along to the bottom, then at the top, there's no way to the top actually. This is a bullish momentum candle. So we wait for this kind of candle to happen above a significant higher resistance to go long. So price does that, there's a little pullback, there's a rejection, and then you're off to the races for a nice swing of, maybe it's probably around 130 pips. A nice swing of 74, 80 pips. That's really good, right? Just off that simple price action move. Since then, we've pulled back, and so again, for this time, for the shorts, we're going to wait for price to close below this significant high, because we used it here, we established it here, we used it here to go long, price used it to go long, and this time we're just waiting for price to once again come here, break below, and that'll take us lower. Because what price likes to do is, once it breaks a significant high, it does like to come visit again and then bounce, right? It likes to bounce to go higher, right? So if it doesn't bounce, more likely than not, it should head lower. And we're waiting for a nice inverted hammer, not just any bearish candle to go short. So that's what will be the game plan for next week. If we do get a bounce, by all means, it can go long again. But the short would be nice as well, because CAD yen, has been ranging for much of this month, and it might be inclined to go back as there's a lot of price action, a lot of liquidity in this area. So we'll see what happens, right? But very, very nice to see that significant high get cleared. So this was a potential setup that could have been taken by a few traders. I know a lot of traders were buying the CAD, as in they were shorting pairs against it. So I understand why people might have passed on this setup, but really nice to see. Going on to USD CHF. Okay, let's see what USD CHF did. Last time we spoke about it, we gave a short, actually a long. So we gave a long and no entry. Okay, the long again. We want a nice 4-hour bullish hammer. None of these candles are that. You have a bearish hammer. You have a inverted hammer with a long to the top and bottom. Bearish hammer, then price pulled back lower. A lot of wicks to the top, which may tell me that price does want to go higher, but just not anytime soon. Same thing with all the pairs we've talked about. They have these obligations, and after we come up from these highs, price does like to go to the support. Here once, twice, and we're very close to that support at 0.9650. So more likely than not, price should go there. So if you're short, I think that's where my TP would be. If you're trying to go short, it's not worth it because it's around 30 pips, but there is a chance price can reverse now as it's showing reluctancy to go lower. But next week, what we can do is look for a price to come here. You get a bounce, you can take that long, right? Get this this move, and sometimes it'll be clean like this. It's a clean move up. Other times it'll be very, very choppy, but we will get there eventually. So USD CHF, just plot these two levels. Plot this level up here, 0.91800, and then this one right here, 0.9650, and then you'll see the trade idea just from drawing those two lines, right? And my bias will be long, but it could change on Monday, right? A lot of stuff can happen on the weekend, and so that's what I have for USD CHF. Nothing too imminent right now. Nothing that can give that's warranting an entry just at this moment. Okay, USD CAD. All right, another trade that we were very optimistic for, right? And so here's a trade. Here was, this was the push earlier in the week. Early last week. Price came down, created this low, and then all week we were waiting for this low to get cleared. But more importantly, we were waiting for a nice bearish candle closure, right? So during the session, we broke down, right? We came here, and you can see 9 a.m. So this was during yesterday's session. We were waiting for this candle to turn into a bearish candle, but it did not, right? It stayed with equal width to top and bottom, and therefore we do not enter these candles because it's a coin toss of whether price goes lower or up, and this time price went up. So very important that we follow the candlesticks, right? It's not just about bearish and bullish, it's about what type of candle. And so since price has pulled back up above this this support or low, I do think there is a chance that price can go out and start taking out this high, maybe even this high. It all depends on the dollar index. So on Monday, we'll look at the dollar index. If it turns bullish, or we think it's bullish, we can take this long, right? If it continues to be bearish, then we can look for this short play to come again once price clears this low. So it was very important because yesterday during the session, I wanted to go short during the session, but I said, you know what, let's wait till 1 p.m. And you can see it was a good idea on our part because this was not an ideal candle closure to go short on. So those are your pair recommendations. What else is there? Anyone else maybe on YouTube? If not, I'll go over some BTC and maybe a few other pairs and then end off the session. Euro NZD, Pound Aussie. Okay, thank you. Hey FX Bros, hey Wendy, hope you guys are well. So NZD Yen actually, and Euro NZD, and then Pound Aussie. Got you. Okay, so this is cool. NZD, we have a swing trade, right? We're just like forget all the noise. We're going off a swing. So we went on the weekly time frame. This looks messy just because it's a swing trade, but you can see the weekly time frame here, right? These black lines are intraday levels we're just monitoring. But this downtrend goes back to 2018. We had a visit in 2019, a visit in 2020, and then you can see price has spent many weeks underneath this trend line without any attempt to go higher. So I'm like, you know what? We may have another short here. And to identify when we enter, we're going to use this kind of support. We see these wicks come here, right? Although there's a traditional support here, so what most people do is they put their support at where price bounces, right? And we do that too, but when it comes to entering trades, I like to target the lows we made below that support, right? And see, below the support, we made a low down here. And so ideally, I want price on the daily time frame to clear this low, right? So if price can go, below 69,550, then we can enter short, right? So that's the thought process. And this week, price has pulled back, retested that trend line again, and rejected. So it's only a matter of time, but I do think NZD yen should head lower. It's not been doing too hot anyways, especially against the dollar. So NZD yen, I'm bearish, and again, very simple entry, daily bearish candle closure below 69,550 should take us there. Euro NZD, and this chart work is on Discord, by the way, for those that are looking to kind of copy it. Euro NZD long. So early last week we gave a potential long. None of these candles are bullish hammers, so there's no entry. But if you pop back to the daily, you see there is some upside to go, right? Is at 1.8244. So price could make its way up there. I'm getting hiccups, but I don't know if it's a good time to enter, because this daily candle, again, if you look at the wicks, the top and bottom are relatively same in the size, although if you want to be specific, the top is longer. This is still an indecision candle for me. So maybe I'd wait for a pullback next week to this previous high, and then we look for a rejection for us to go higher. Okay, but I am bullish. Don't get me wrong. This is a nice bull trend we're on, and it definitely could be a trade that we can take next week that leads to a quick 300, 400 pips. But it could also lead to a loss of 100, 200 pips because it's that volatile. But I am bullish on Euro NZD. Again, I'm bearish on NZD right now, like we just said with NZD yen. So it does make sense to long Euro NZD, but also this pair also determines on how well the euro does, right? So a lot of the majors are controlling the minors, where they're headed, and this is almost like a one-to-one correlation. So that's something to watch out for, definitely. Pound Aussie, I believe that was the last one. Pound Aussie. Short. I'm still waiting for it, but short. So we are waiting patiently to enter the short, but no valid for our closure. You can see these wicks, which is why I don't like using sell stops. But price has been too scared to close bearish below this 1.85600 level. So 1.81, not 5, 1.81600. We want for our closure below that level to go short. So here I'll move this over, and we're just waiting, right? I'm just waiting for price to get down here. Look at the daily. The daily has been struggling, right? It has been struggling to go higher. A lot of these wicks to the top side. If we do come to this high, that's fine. We can either look for rejection to go short again, or we can look for a break to go high, because the upside is pretty monumental. If you can see here, last time we broke this level, we went on a crazy rally, and these are the levels during the peak of phase 1 of COVID. So definitely a possibility, but as long as we stay below and start inching lower to this 1.81600, I'm thinking short. So this is there's nothing here to trade for me personally, because on the daily there's no separation, right? You have a pullback last week, then you have 2 bull candles, 2 bear candles, 2 bull candles. It's nothing really clean. Like, if you're a scalper, there may be something for you in here, but for me, an intraday swing trader, I like to get some momentum going, and there's none here at the moment. So I think the best bet is to just wait. Figure out what Aussie is doing. So if Aussie starts to kind of climb then you notice we'll head lower. If Aussie starts to melt, or you see Aussie on the higher time frame look to turn bearish, then you can start looking for longs, right? So I like to look at Aussie, just Aussie dollar, when I'm looking at EA or GA, because those pairs tend to correlate really well. So we'll see how Aussie dollar does, you know. So let's take a quick peek at Aussie dollar. Here's Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar, again, you can see there's no real separation among candles, right? It's been a pretty relaxed week. We were bullish, right? We wanted to go higher. We were waiting for this high to get cleared, but that did not happen. So price is pretty consolidated, pretty stuck. So it's just gonna be a waiting game for pound Aussie. So, but right now I'm inching towards short because I'm still bullish on Aussie. But if Aussie does come down to these lows, you know, below 0.71,000, then it may be time to short Aussie dollar and buy GA. Okay. So if there's any other pairs, let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna do BTC because I'm also wondering why it's taking so long. And then we'll end off the session. If you have any other questions, come on Discord and ask me. It's free to join Discord. And at the end of the session, I'll give you a 50% off coupon code so you can be a premium member and get access to a wide range of content. So BTC, I'm still bullish. I just don't like how long it's taking to go higher. We pretty much said, you know, if you're looking to trade, you can enter long at 10,500. And you can see we pushed up really nicely. Here's our first official target, 12,250. And we're, you know, we came pretty close. But hopefully we do reach that target. And if we do, price should go up to 13.8 next. So still bullish. You know, if you're, you know, holding it as a value investor, just keep holding it. If you're trading, I'm pretty sure it's a headache. It's definitely make you want to rip your hair out this week. If you look at the 1 hour, you'll see it's just been, you know, going up and down and up and down. Not much to say other than stick with the trend on the higher time frame, which is definitely a buy. That's definitely there. So I just be careful around this kind of high. I'll adjust it now. The high of 12,000, just at 12,000, price is having a hard time pushing above. Here was a rally from last week, and then again we tried this week to close above 12,000. So if you're trading BTC, I'd maybe look for shorts at 12,000. If you're long right now, I'd probably take my profit at 12,000. You know, it's just definitely a level that we could create a triple top at. So watch out for that. Now, if you enjoyed today's session and you found it insightful, we only hold 3 sessions on Friday, right? If you're looking to, and you know, let me actually show you, if you're looking to actually get a lot of the content, and just show you how much. So this is the apprentice. We have a 50% off your first month, and what it means is you'll get the daily live New York sessions, which is this one. There's also a session before it based on Smart Money by Institute Trader. There's also a live session in London. So we have 3 live sessions a day, usually around an hour, and that's a lot of content you're getting. And during those sessions, you can actually ask the trader for questions, pairs, and you can learn so much. You get chart work as well, and 10 signal providers throughout the day. I mean, it is, you know, you get price action, smart money trades. It is definitely, and you can get a direct line to chat with pro traders. This is the best thing you can do right now during a pandemic, is to level up your skill set. And there is no, you know, trading is recession proof, especially Forex. It's recession proof. And if you lost your job during this time, or you're just getting back to work and you want to prepare for the future, definitely take advantage of this because you're learning an invaluable skill set, right? Once you learn how to trade on your own, you make your own money. Nothing can stop you. The world's your oyster. So if you want to take advantage of this, it's very simple. Go to forexlens.com. Right? Once there, you go to Forex Trading Room, click Get Started, and then you keep it the apprentice. If you want to get the higher months, which is actually cheaper, you know, this is the 3 months, this the year, it's cheaper. Whatever, you can use the apprentice just for now. Fill out this form, click Next, and then use coupon code, all capitals, FIRST50. It will say enter a coupon code on the next page. Right here, it will say Next. Enter your card details. You'll see enter coupon code, and your first month will only be $73.50. That is a steal, and the content you get is unmatched. Trust me on this. So hopefully I see some new faces on Monday, where we'll prepare for the week and start trading again. If you guys have any questions, direct them to support@forexlens.com. Hope you guys have a great week. I know I had a great one, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Peace.